This country, under this APC regime, came to become the poverty capital of the world. It became the place where the minimum wage became the miserable wage for workers.
But if you think about Nigeria itself, it's an open prison.
Don't you think the real demand we ought to be agitating for is INEC reform? Because
so no matter what you do to the current INEC without solving the fundamental problems of Nigeria, whether you change the name, the director or directors or their state coordinators, INEC will still remain INEC, just as police will remain police.
Hello, comrade, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, good. How are you doing this morning, Comrade Sowore?
Yeah. I'm doing very well.
Very well, very well. I can see that you're still tired, even though I didn't join. Even me watching and hearing all those things, I am feeling tired from yesterday. But did it meet your expectations? Because the papers have it all written out. A lot of the papers were saying that the turnout was low in some parts of the country, while some parts they didn't even allow. I'm having a holdback. While some parts of the country they didn't even allow them to come out to be a part of the process. From you, your own point of view, how was it yesterday? Could you share with us? Did it meet your expectations?
It completely met my expectations. I actually had lower expectation than what we saw yesterday. Typically, protests on a public holiday, we're going to have a low turnout because most people are not out, apart from the fact that things are hard for our people, they can't get out there. So, the fact that we had such a turnout in Lagos was impressive. And in Abuja, the people were starting to head towards Eagle Square. The police attacked them. Police attacked people in Jos and arrested them. There was protests in Ondo, Akure. There was some protests in Benin City. Our colleagues in police, before they could get to the venue of the rallies. So, in general, what we set out to do was to bring people out in a continuation of protests against bad governance. And contrary to what the government had expected, that people would not even come out due to threats and previous arrests, I was quite surprised to see the turnout yesterday.
And you know, the fact that Port Harcourt, they weren't allowed to do much, people were beaten and some other parts of the country, but Lagos State had it quite easy because the report we got from the papers was that the CP even brought out refreshments and shared with the people. Was that really true? Hello? Did we touch something there? Thank God, can we? I think something just went off there. Let's try and sort it out. Okay, I think it's refreshing, comrade, if you don't mind, if you can hear me. Let's try and get it back on because it just disconnected just like that. Hopefully he'll be joining again shortly. And yes, that was what the papers had this morning, that the CP Lagos had shared refreshments. And I want to find out if he will also be called what a particular senator was called the last time, where the senator had gone on and shared refreshments, water and all that to protesters in Abuja, and they said that, oh, okay, I have a holdback. And sorry about comrade, the line just went off, the Google connection just went off. Right, you are going to respond to what I had said. I wonder if you heard everything.
I didn't hear what you said before I got disconnected. What you were talking about Port Harcourt.
Yes. I was saying that Port Harcourt, unfortunately, we got the reports of people being beaten up and so on. But in Lagos, it was said that the CP even came out and doled out refreshments that has refreshed the protesters. Was that something that really happened, or was it just hype?
I don't know what it did when I was not there, but there's no way our convoy or our march would have accepted water or refreshment from police. There was heavy police presence. and they did what we've always asked them to do to protect protesters. And I heard the CP was ahead of me, but there was no time that I was there that they distributed the refreshment. We've always warned our people not to accept refreshment from police because one day they are going to serve you poison. There's no question that people who can afford to shoot and kill you during peaceful protest, people who can charge you for treason, for peacefully expressing yourself, will have no problem lacing your drink one day with poison. So anybody who foolishly continues to pick police water and gala, if something happens to you, don't say we didn't warn you. The police that can pay salaries to their own, to their men and women serving protesters gala, you know what that means. It's just to ridicule the protesters in the eyes of the world.
Now, if I may take that from another angle, you know, the last time during the August protest, the End Bad Governance protest in Abuja, a particular senator, right, had shared refreshments to the protesters. She just saw it as a part of support. But the minister of the FCT referred, and they were saying that, oh, we know the part of the people who sponsor this, basically because of that, they were trying to call her in. So will we now say that if the commissioner truly did what the woman in Abuja did in Lagos, should we now say that he too bankrolled the protest too, if we follow the way the FCT minister went last time?
You know, that's why before the protest, they invited us to a meeting with the commissioner. That said, take it back, we did not go. We were invited across the country because it was a strategy, and you saw that they sent out a signal where they actually asked the CPs to engage with protest leaders as a strategy of ensuring that the protest didn't happen. So is it not the same police force that is shooting at people in Abuja that is sharing gala in Lagos? There's no difference between the police in Lagos and the one in Abuja and the one in Port Harcourt. This is not the same police force that went and ambushed protesters, got thugs to beat them black and blue. So I'm just saying it's a matter of time that they will spike your drink with poison if you're collecting drinks from police. Even the senator you mentioned, our people never took even a drop of water from such a senator. So I'm not even aware of any senator providing water. So I think Nigerians understand very well who their friends and enemies are, and the police has always been an adversary, including what they did in August. We still have people in detention as we speak because they cannot meet their bail condition, which was imposed by the judge in Abuja against peaceful protesters who were charged with treason.
Okay, the issue that I also would like us to look at is the youth conference.
The charges were filed by Nigerian police.
Okay.
So keep drinking their Kool-Aid. One day, you know what happened in Guyana in 1982.
Kool-Aid. You just reminded me of Jim Jones.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, clear. Good, because it was breaking off a bit. I said when you said Kool-Aid there, I just remembered Jim Jones, and that was a very sad thing to have happened. Now, let's come back to the one we had yesterday, the presidential speech. One of the things the president had talked about was the fact that they'll be having a confab for young people that will last for like 30 days. And young people, some are saying, okay, it's a good one, we'll be part of it. Some are saying, what do you think of that? Should it be a part where we'll sit down and have a dialogue with the presidency? Do you think is the way to go, having a 30 days youth conference?
I think they want to organize another NAS convention and call it a youth forum. And to make it very clear since yesterday that this is going to be a jamboree. The problem of Nigeria is not a problem of youth alone. It's a problem of adults, youth, and children. Whatever category of age you can place Nigerians at this point, whether you're a newborn baby or you're 100 years old, you're afflicted by the problem of the country. They're trying to duck away from what is necessary, which is one of the conditions we had put forward in this protest is that there must be a sovereign national conference to put together a brand new constitution. They want to divert attention away from that very crucial confab by introducing another youth confab. And they will, of course, invite their friends and the children of their friends and their cronies. These guys will be in Abuja, they will be drinking and happy. If they can be happy for 30 days, and they will go and present on their knees a resolution of the conference to the president, and it will go the same way every other confab they set up went, which is to the dustbin.
And the speech in general, a lot of knocks have been received by the president as concerning that speech that he gave. Some people have commended, and some are just saying there is not much to that particular Independence Day speech. What do you think of the speech itself? What were your takeaways from that speech?
I didn't listen to it, so I don't know. I don't know what he said.
Oh, sorry, you didn't listen to it at all. So, okay, so we'll just skip the speech and move on to the other bits since you didn't listen to it.
I don't listen to speeches that are generated through artificial intelligence, ChatGPT.
But they have beautiful speech writers in the Asoroko.
Well, that's why I said ChatGPT can do a better job than any speech writer these days. So it's garbage in, garbage out.
Okay, let's just pretend it wasn't a ChatGPT that did it. Were you expecting, or should we have expected to have heard anything about the fuel, NNPC, Dangote, hunger, and all that addressed in the speech? Should those things have been addressed at all in the speech? Because they weren't mentioned.
Let me be very clear. I don't have any expectations to be fulfilled by the Tinubu regime. And people have asked me this question, I think also on this show, if I would attend a dialogue set up by these people. And I said no, because I know it's going to end up as a monologue, it will be a time waster, so that they can keep distracting you from how fast you should think through your salvation or redemption or liberation, as the case may be. That's all this is all about. So, it's not as if even if the speech were not to have been written by ChatGPT or artificial intelligence, they would do whatever they read to do. They know that people can be fooled and brainwashed, and that's what they set out to do all the time.
And during the protest, or this period of the protest, you had said that we were on course, talking about the fight for freedom. You believe that the whole fight, the whole journey is still on course. What gave you that boldness to believe that everything is on course, not minding the fact that people believe that there is a lot of cracking down on free speech, cracking down on journalism, cracking down on whistleblowers, but you still believe that the fight for freedom is still on course? Where is that, should I call it, boldness coming from?
Even the crackdowns that you mentioned, they're all symptoms of a system that is afraid of falling apart. And the crackdown, the fact that this crackdown hasn't discouraged citizens, that's only emboldening more people, should tell you something, that more and more people are going to keep joining the struggle. And one day, like I said yesterday, I told you that when I was giving my speech there, and journalists were asking, the number is not big. And I said, one day, there'll be so many people that will come out that nobody can count. And that will be it. So, it's a small struggle of this nature that doesn't take time. It's not going to be industry. You still have to engage in the struggle to fix the right people in the right places and start work. So, it's a continuous struggle. I keep talking about the US because I live there. And every day, even when they have good roads, their schools are better than, all the schools I've seen anywhere. So better than ours. Of course, there are smaller countries that are better schools than the US. People still protest. You see parents still protesting about food. Students, they're protesting about electricity, but it's not the electricity of there's no light bills. It's electricity of, energy saving. I went to university. The students have been fighting for 6 months to get the authorities to buy bulbs that saves energy. Some are fighting to get buses that use electricity,
CNG
EV.
electricity.
So yeah, they're not fighting for what we're fighting. They're not fighting for water. They are fighting to conserve water. They've entered the stage at which they're fighting to protect the environment. But it's fights. They still wake up every day and fight. The university that I attended, Columbia University in New York, the students shut down the school for months over what you would say did not even concern them, which is the struggle in Gaza, the struggle for the liberation of Palestinians. So what is your excuse here? What is our excuse here?
Okay, let me read a couple of messages now. I must commend Sowore for his steadfastness and courage to always stand with the suffering masses to speak truth to power, where other presumed activities or leaders, in quote, kept mute in their comfort zones. You are indeed the Nigerian leader of my dream. That is according to Onyekachi. And this one is a question that Sowore, you dared the FG to arrest you if they can or attempt to stop the protest.
They have a network issue.
Yeah, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better? You can, right?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
but
great,
your
great.
network was
Okay. Okay, so let me read that message again. I don't know if you heard when I was reading that message.
I didn't hear that.
Okay,
The
so
second
I'll
message,
read.
but-
Okay, the second one. Let me read the second one. You heard the first one. The person says, Sowore, you dared the FG to arrest you if they can or attempt to stop the protest, and they never did. What gives you the growth or confidence that you wouldn't be arrested, persecuted, or jailed very soon? That where do you get the confidence from?
It's because I've been arrested, prosecuted, and they tried to jail me before it didn't work. So they now know it's a waste of time. And I didn't start today. I keep telling people of this younger generation, that you can actually stand up and fight the system and the system will collapse. But a lot of you are still afraid because you're afraid of the discomfort that will come to you if you assert your rights and your privileges and your existence. You have a right to protest, and that nobody can take from me anywhere. I even protest outside the country. You've seen video of me, protesting against Nigerian officials abroad. If I was in New York yesterday, where those some of our diaspora clowns were dancing on Independence Day, we would have gone to do our own counter protest. So this is something I've done. In fact, it was our protest while I was in the US that stopped Nigerian officials from celebrating independence in the US instead of celebrating them here. We used to go and disrupt. If we see you, we will shut down the place. And the police in New York know us very well. So it is nothing special that I dare the federal government. I'm exerting my right to be different, to say, speak truth to power, to organize. And if all of us do that, we would solve our problems faster. But those of us who still analyze and overanalyze and paralyze themselves with analysis is why these guys are getting away with blue murder. There's nothing special about those in power. There are less than 70,000 public officials from president to councillor. Why is it that they are holding 2 million security officers? And so many of them actually are part of you. They want to be part of, but they want to see the numbers so that they too will drop their uniforms and join you. But you are there saying, "Oh, I don't want to join. I'm afraid." I don't want to mock people. While we were protesting yesterday and around the country, there are 150 million people that died in a boat crash in Niger
150,000,
State.
150, 100,
No, 150
150,
people.
150, 100.
150 people. Yes, 150 people that died in Niger State yesterday. Just in a boat accident. So if you don't die in front of a protest, you could die in your bathroom. You can fall, like, on your head. You could die in an accident, because this country is an accident waiting to happen to anybody, anywhere you are, whether at the protest ground or you're at home. Your building could collapse, because a lot of buildings have no integrity. So what are you afraid of?
You had the protest yesterday. Again, some people were arrested. The ones who were arrested before, they're still facing different forms of trials and so on. With these ones added now, what is the way forward for them? Because you see the one for the
Everybody that was
NSAS.
arrested.
Yes, I'm listening.
Everybody arrested yesterday has been free. That was in Jos.
Okay.
And there were some of our colleagues who were arrested from Kano, driven to Abuja, because they had the call from the CP to have a meeting with them in preparation of the project. They went. They respected this. The CCP lured them to a meeting from Kano. They arrested, but they have now been released. So we don't have anybody that we know of that's still under arrest from yesterday's protest. If you know, please be kind to send us information so that we can walk.
Hold on.
Yeah, the rest of them.
Sorry. Walk me back a bit. These people were invited to come for a meeting, and they were now arrested. Was that the picture?
In Kano, yes. That's what the CP did. And that was why we had sent messages to all our affiliates across the country. Don't attend any meeting with the police at all. If they are desirous of a meeting, make it a Zoom meeting. Lagos invited us to a meeting too. We wrote them that we don't want to hold a physical meeting. We are busy planning protests. Let's have a Zoom meeting. Of course, they figure out we knew their trick. So we never met with them. But some of our people in Kano, well, not our people directly, but our affiliates, our collaborators, went to meet with the police. And one of them was the lawyers who was helping out with the detainees there. After they finished the meeting, the CP didn't let them leave. Before they knew it, they had been driven to Abuja.
So are they aware that this kind of attitude will make it difficult for dialogue to take place at any time? Because people wouldn't want to trust.
They're not interested in that. I keep reminding you on your show that government is not interested in that. They're looking for people to compromise. That is the meaning of dialogue to them. They want to go to a meeting, they will give you money. If you don't accept money, they will find a way to blackmail you. So the solution is, don't expect something to come out of dialogue. Keep the struggle going until they are defeated. These people can be defeated. They can be defeated. I mean it.
And what about those who were held since August, the end bad governance time? Some are still behind. How is the struggle going? And the NBA said that they were going to join in the law case to, stand for those arrested ones too. Any positive light from there so far?
What the NBA, I must say, has done commendably well. They set up a whole committee that has been traveling around the country to help out with detainees. Yesterday, they were part of people that helped in freeing those people who were arrested in Jos. They have freed a significant number of persons from Kano. They are part of the people that, the lawyers that are working in Abuja. I can tell you that it most likely will get Pidon out of prison today. They've helped us to fulfill the bail condition. And we know that over 4 people will leave prison today in Abuja. But there are still 3 persons that their bail conditions are still being processed, because it is very difficult, the conditions that we're giving for them to get released. But we're expecting Pidon to get up today to breed freedom. But it's been granted bail, but the conditions were such that it took a while to meet the bail conditions. But now I was told this morning that Pidon would probably leave prison today, and we're looking forward to that. So there will still be 3 persons left in Abuja. I think the number of detainees in Kano has been significantly reduced because of intervention by the NBA. In prison to ensure that no innocent person is in prison to ensure that no innocent person is left behind bars. And like I said, I want to commend the NBA. I don't know what they will do tomorrow, But this NBA has been very, very supportive, and I heard this under a new president who has done commendably well by paying attention to human rights. The NBA otherwise used to be almost useless on these matters, and I say so because I've experienced it. In 2019, the American Bar Association used to send representative to my trial. The NBA in Nigeria, under Olumide Abata, never did anything about it. They didn't even mention my case in their meetings. The worst president was McHale, the one that just left. That one was like complete APC lacking. But the new guy has been doing well. If he does something different tomorrow, you better will criticize him.
With the calling of NBA in this whole session we've just had, it reminded me of Nance. Nance used to be something different from what I seem to be seeing now. In all of this struggle, in all of these protests that the team has been putting together, where has been the place of Nance? Because I was seeing Nance, they were celebrating the independence, commending the administration and all that. What is the role of NANS in all of this? Has NANS, that's the Association of Nigerian Students, have they shown any form of support, or they're standing or sitting on the fence?
NANS is dead as an organization that's a vanguard of, or the conscience of the nation. That's why I refer to them of, NANS of blessed memory. The only thing they do these days is to collect money from government officials, and they also give awards. NANS officials will go and make plaques and start moving from office to office in Abuja and the National Assembly, collect money and give you awards. Sometimes they don't even know how to rightly spell the name of the senator they are giving award to. NANS is dead. Forget about NANS. But, from that carcass, a new movement of Nigerian students will rise. Because even the independence that we're talking about yesterday, it was Nigerian students who fought largely for youths and students that fought largely for the independence from colonial rule. But unfortunately, NAS doesn't figure into the conversation now because it's just made up of a bunch of hustlers.
I have a message here from AY. AY is in Mushin, and it's saying, "My greetings to His Excellency Omoyele Sowore. More strength to his elbows," and is asking, don't you think the real demand we ought to be agitating for is INEC reform, because bad governance begins with corrupt politicians using election through INEC to get into power. If we have a good and credible election, then we will have confidence in the people in power, and someone like Tinubu, Akpabio, Wike, etc. won't be in power if our electoral system is standing firm. I commend you, my brother. I wish I can do what you're doing too. Thank you for doing what you do. May God Almighty continue to protect you from the vampires out there. Amen. That was from AY in Mushin.
Thank you, AY. I object to being referred to as Your Excellency. There's nothing excellent about their excellencies. So just call me by my name. I hate all these titles. But having said that, you made a remark. That's a remarkable comment about what we should be fighting for. But if you fight to have INEC alone solved, you have forgotten that it is still the president that will appoint the chairman of INEC. It's the one who will appoint the commissioners in INEC. So no matter what you do to the current INEC without solving the fundamental problems of Nigeria, INEC, whether you change the name, the director or directors, or their state coordinators, INEC will still remain INEC, just as police will remain police. So if you want to solve Nigeria's problem, don't pick one problem. It's just like someone has cancer. You don't treat the cancer, you are treating the running nose that accompany with it. You're just deceiving yourself. I hope you understand this.
All right, we'll be wrapping up shortly. And the last time we spoke, you said the protest was going to be maybe more than 1 day. Is that plan still there? And what's up going forward? What's next?
Yes, we were supposed to have more than 1 day, but it will still be more than 1 day. What I said is that there will be a series of protests going forward, starting from August. We kickstarted it. Yesterday was specifically designed for the Independence Day, but don't forget that this October is also the day of NSAS shooting at Lekki Toll Gate. So you're still going to hear more from us in October and subsequently going forward. Anytime a protest can break out in this country, because there's no way people are going to take or keep accepting their life being rubbished by this government and these policies. They're going to keep accepting the oppression and the subterfuge, the corruption and ineptitude and incompetence that has ruined a complete country. It feels like we're at war in this country, even though they're not. We don't have the second country firing rockets at us, but our own leaders or rulers are firing rockets into our lives and demolishing and decimating it on a daily basis. So we have to fight back. We have no option than to fight back. So you should expect more. You should expect people. There will be an uprising in this country. Nobody can escape it, because I know these people are not going to change their ways, and there will not be a change of trajectory of leadership. And the more people actually change, the more they'll get determined to fight back and fight back strongly someday, soon.
So on the last note, this you just referred to rockets and all that. I had that in mind to actually find out from you your own perspective, your own take as concerning what is going on between Israel, Iran, Gaza, and all that. We saw the missiles, the number of missiles that Iran fired at Israel yesterday. What are your thoughts on that?
If we're going to talk about this, we have to do another show. But I think, a new world order is imagined. I just can't sit down here and tell you that we can have that conversation in 30 seconds I have left.
Sorry, the line broke there. I didn't really get the last thing. That time is not long enough
I
for
said
that.
I'm not sure that we can. I'm not sure we can have a reply to your question in 30 seconds that we have left. So let's talk about it another time.
All right, we're going to have time for that for sure. We're going to look at that because the escalation seems to be coming faster than we even thought they will come
And
to.
and it's going to start affecting us very soon,
Yeah.
because somehow every country will need to take a position and take a side, and ultimately so many countries have to join in the fight. If you don't join the fight will come to you.
Okay, the lines have been buzzing. Maybe I'll just take one or two calls before you go. Hello, how are you? Hello? I've taken your call, but I can't hear you. Hello? Okay, all right. And that Ewa was asking you that if you had somebody who had the same ideology with you, would you agree to support such a person to become the Nigerian president, or is your ambition to become the Nigerian president? That is a question from AY.
I would imagine anybody who wants to lead Nigeria now should not be hiding. Nigeria has real problems and needs leadership intervention, even if it's not political. So you cannot expect that people are suffering, we're fighting with them, and when the fight is over,
They come out.
you want me to support somebody who just jump out of the bush. But here is the fight now. They're not intervening. People are in detention. They are not helping them. People are hungry. You are not talking about economic policies that can work with them. You are hiding around. You don't want to offend anybody. Those of us who are on the offense, who are in the firing line, when it's over, you now say, oh, I'm a good man. Come and support me. Does that make sense?
All right. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello, what's your name, please? Okay. All right. Peter from Abaranja, you have 30 seconds. Go ahead. Hello? Hello? Okay, that one up. Hello?
The school of thought have said that you are a beneficiary of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that you committed the same offense with Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu, yet you and Sunday Igboho are while Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. So I want to know the difference between your own offense and Nnamdi Kanu. Thank
All right.
you very much.
Thank you. That's all. Okay, you heard him, right?
I didn't hear the question. What was the
Well,
question?
he was saying that Sunday Igboho, Nandi Kano, and yourself were all said to have committed the same offense, but both of you are out, but Nandi Kano is still there. Could you share with him or with anybody who has that question in mind too, what the difference is that both of you Sunday, you're out, but Kano is still in there?
Well, I don't like to make comparison of this nature, but I'm totally in support of the struggle for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. It's part of the demands of August protests and even now. So I'm not interested in having this divisive conversation about who deserves to be in prison, who is out and who is in. Sunday, Nnamdi Kanu is being treated differently because of his ethnicity, of course. The leaders of Nigeria believe that the Igbos must be sacrificed continuously for the unity of Nigeria. And unfortunately, the Igbo leaders who should stand up are also complicit. They are part of it. They are the ones prolonging Nnamdi Kanu's detention. If all
Nigerians are now becoming politically more aware than before, so it is needful we have a synergy across the 6 geopolitical zones. Stay blessed, and I wish I could meet you in person someday. That was from Momo, and that'll be the last message I'll be reading as we wrap up. You heard him, right?
Yes. Next time when you want to meet me, come to a protest, I invite you to. It's the easiest way. But I'm sure we'll meet something soon. Yeah. And regarding 2027, I'm not sounding political, but why don't you just survive 2024 first before you start? These people, if you don't fight them to a standstill in 2024, 2025, 2027 is guaranteed. You just come and go again and be whining. And you look at the time and you've grown older by 4 years. And your life still remains the same.
Thank you so much, comrade. I smiled when you said if you want to meet me, let's meet at the protest ground, because in my head I was already giving that answer. Well, Momo, you heard that, so the next one, let's see how you can make that work from your own end. Comrade Omoyele Sowore, thank you so much for being a part today and for sharing with us yesterday's protest and the way forward. But before you go, last line, what will be your word to that average Nigerian who's listening now? Maybe can't afford to buy anything, is hungry, is tired, and is practically hopeless. What would be your word for that person?
I don't even know how people are surviving in this country. And I don't know how people suffer this much and don't revolt. But I hope you tell the person that we should use our last energy and take a last stand, and liberate ourselves.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, Omoyele.
Nigeria, they use computer. The leaders of Nigeria, they use radio where they turn the knob.